How do you feel when you run into a problem when you're working on anything? It can be your home server, it could be your own laptop, it could be your car, or anything like that. Do you get frustrated and discouraged or excited and curious? Personally, I fall into the latter camp. Well, this week I ran into a Wi-Fi device issue, so let's troubleshoot this. This is B from Tay Talk Tech, and today I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot a Wi-Fi device issue in Linux, so stick around. I have a favor to ask. If you like this type of video and want to see more content like it, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button for notifications. Also, don't forget to give this video a like if you like it. Let me know what you like, didn't like, or if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or emotional outbursts down in the comment section below. And lastly, stick around all the way to the end to get the most out of this video. Let's do this thing. All right, so let me go ahead and just get myself over to my terminal and also shrink my face down because you're going to want to watch what I'm doing from the terminal here. All right, there we go. Got my face shrunk down, got the terminal here. All right, so one of the things that I do want to start this video off with, though, is this is a general troubleshooting video. I'm not doing this video to show you how to fix a specific issue, though this may help your particular issue. But I want to make this video to show you the process that you can go through for troubleshooting different issues that you're going to run into. This is like the third video that I've done troubleshooting different Linux issues, and I plan on doing them again when I run into them and when I find them something that might be helpful. So this is not the end-all be-all of how to do this. I am by no means an expert, and I will never pretend to be an expert, but I'm going to show you what I have found helpful while working through this process. And hey, if you've got some tips or helpful things that you can share down below in regards to troubleshooting issues, please leave them down below in the comments. I really appreciate that. All right, so prior to making prior to working on and completing a video, I like to test and make sure whatever I'm going to be showing you is actually going to work, because there'd be no point in making videos saying, yep, doesn't work, so end of video. But yeah, this past week I was doing some testing for a video that I wanted to do on my home server, and I ran into a problem. It's actually a Wi-Fi device problem. So I have this Alpha AC Wi-Fi USB adapter, and I plugged it into this small little test server 2 that I have that doesn't have built-in Wi-Fi, and I was just like waiting, saying, okay, maybe it'll just take a few minutes for it to get its IP address and all that stuff, then I can connect it to the internet. Well, that never happened. Like, none of it happened. I was like, huh. Well, I shouldn't say connected to get its IP address because it is going to need to be able to connect to the wireless access point and all that stuff, but that's not the point here. But yeah, so I gave it a few minutes, was hoping that the device would be initialized and at least have a basic configuration so I could go ahead and add a wireless network to it. And no. I was like, what in the world? So what I did is I ran the command, and this system is using Network Manager. So I ran nmcli, which nmcli is the Network Manager command line interface. This allows us to interact directly with the Network Manager daemon. And Network Manager, if you're not familiar, is going to be an application that allows for you to work with different networking devices and manage your networking on a Linux system. Super easy, love it. Integrated into systemd. So when I ran this command, I was looking at the devices here, so I can see my Ethernet interface, which is this one right here. And this command right here, it actually works very similar to the less command, or like if you're working inside man pages, so you can actually use enter and spacebar to go to like next pages, or you can hit B to go back. So it's the same kind of stuff as the man pages or the less command. But what's important here is that this is our Ethernet interface. No issues. We got an IP address, all that good stuff. So I'm like, okay, that's clearly not the issue. But then I look over here. I looked at the connected externally. This is our lookback address. This one's fine. This one's right where it needs to be. But this one right here, notice it says unmanaged, plugin missing. Now don't worry about DNS configuration. That's not what we're worried about here. Then this is fine. But yeah, the plugin is missing and it's unmanaged. So what can we take away from this? Well, to me, it seemed pretty straightforward. But that may not be the case for everybody. But it does say that it's unmanaged, which means that Network Manager isn't managing this device, and it says like a plugin is missing. And this is one thing that I was like, what do you mean by plugin? Is this like, just like an application? Is this a driver? What is it that I need to do in order to make this work? Now, I was not super familiar with Network Manager, or I shouldn't say super familiar. I'm relatively familiar with it, but I'm not an expert. Again, going back to what I said earlier, I'm never going to claim to be an expert. So the first thing that I did is I Googled Googled my issue to see if anybody else had this problem. And honestly, Google ChatGPT searches are gonna help you solve the majority of your problems. Don't think that you need to know everything, because you're not gonna know everything. Newsflash, if that's news to you, but you're just never gonna know all that. And the problem is that people think that they need to know everything in tech, and that's not true. They're like, oh, but the system administrator knows all this stuff. And it's because he's probably encountered a lot of problems and a lot of Googling, because that's really what a lot of sysadmins and a lot of IT people do in general. Is even like when you're looking at code, it's like, hey, well, I don't know how this code works. I don't know how this thing works in code. So let me go ahead and Google it. Let me see how this is supposed to be done. And things like that. So, it takes Googling and being able to do research to be able to solve these problems that are going to make you, successful in the IT world. Now, the first thing that I went ahead and did is I went ahead and ran a Google search, which is over here. I'm actually using Start Page, which is a front end for Google that's more privacy focused, so I don't have to sign into my Google account or anything like that. Now, your output may vary depending on what you get and what search engine you're using, so just keep that in mind. This is just a general guide. Again, just to kind of show you the process that I went through. So we are missing a Wi-Fi plugin, so I just typed in Network Manager plugin missing, because that seems to be probably the most important thing. Just because when we look at the output of an MCLI, this is in red. And usually, colors are indicative of something that's important. So the first thing that comes up is this one right here, Stack Exchange, which is, like a forum type thing for people to post their questions on. And lo and behold here, it says, how can I find out what plugin is missing in NMCLI? It says he's trying to use some Raspberry Pi-like device. He set it up using Wi-Fi when he installed everything, but then after everything was installed, it's showing the exact same thing that we're getting now. We can't see the pictures here. I'm sorry, the colors here. He says that down here, but he runs a couple of commands. So let's go ahead and run those commands. NMCLI radio Wi-Fi. So what this is going to tell us is that the Wi-Fi and the Wi-Fi device is ready. It's enabled. So that's not the issue. So it's nothing wrong with this particular device. So it's something on our system that's actually causing that issue. So the next thing that they run is NMCLI device. Oh, whoops, that's not how you spell it. Device Wi-Fi list. And we're not getting any output there. It should let us know any Wi-Fi networks that are available, but it's not showing us that any Wi-Fi networks are available. So yeah, it's like, what in the world is going on here? So let's go back to our output here. He also runs this command, lspci. We could run a ls USB, which will show us the USB information, and this is actually our adapter right here. So I'm going to run this one. This one's just a bit easier to understand and has a lot less going on. With this right here, he's probably running this one because it's a PCI adapter versus a actual or USB device, or it's probably built in. So yeah, that's probably why he's checking that one. But we don't need to see that. But yeah, because we can see it here on ours. We got it right here. So yeah, we can see our device there. So we know the system recognized it, so that's not the issue. There's something going on with Network Manager that's not allowing us to interface with this. So let's go ahead and go back to the output. And lo and behold, the first response is try DNF install network Wi-Fi. And then this one goes into a little bit more detail here. And then right here, it says you're probably missing the Network Manager-Wifi package. DNF install Network Wi-Fi, Network Manager-Wifi, and then go ahead and just system restart Network Manager. So that's probably what our issue is. But let's go ahead and check something here. Let's clear this out. We're gonna do DNF list installed. We're gonna grep Network Manager. Then we're going to put a start here, because basically what we're doing here is we're going to list all the installed packages from DNF, because we're using this is a Rocky Linux based system or Red Hat based system. We're going to go ahead and grep from that output anything that starts with Network Manager TAC and then anything after that. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's see here what we have installed. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different items from Network Manager, but I don't see that one installed. So that's probably our issue. So let's run another command here. We're going to do DNF info, and we're going to do Network Manager Wi-Fi. And here we go. And essentially what this does, and you can run this also with apt as well, is DNF info is it's going to give us some information about that package. And it says, lo and behold, this package contains Network Manager support for Wi-Fi and OLPC devices. So this is probably why we're missing it. So now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and install that bad boy. So let's do a sudo DNF install Network Manager TAC Wi-Fi. There we go. And it's going to go ahead and install some dependencies as well. Let's go ahead and do that. And pretty quick install. So let's go ahead and go back to NMCLI. Oh, and what did we forget? It's not there, right? Yep, we forgot something. Now we're going to have to do this. We're going to have to go and clear this out. We're going to have to do a sudo. And I don't need to run these as sudo. I'm just putting those in there. I'm running this account as root, but a lot of these commands where you're making changes, you're going to need to run as you're going to need to run with sudo if you're not running as the root user. So we're going to do Rocky Linux, Red Hat. They don't really differentiate if you're root and just do sudo. It's just gonna go, which is pretty cool because I forget sometimes that I'm running as root and I still put sudo on there. So, but yeah, so we're gonna do sudo systemctl restart, and then we're going to do Network Manager. And sometimes this might take a minute, might be pretty quick, depending on the system. And there we go. So let's run nmcli again. And voila. So as of right now, the only thing that's missing, and one of the ways we can is going to be an actual connection. And if we run this command again, we do nmcli device Wi-Fi list. Now we can see these networks that are available. So yeah, everything is up and working now. Now all we'd have to do is go ahead and actually go ahead and connect the Wi-Fi adapter to a network, but we're not gonna do that in this video. I've already got a video on that, so go check out that video on connecting to Wi-Fi through the command line. But yeah, these commands are not gonna fix every single issue on every flavor of Linux. So, but the point of this troubleshooting video is, again, as I said, it's just to really show you the process that I went through to solve this problem, and hopefully, give you some motivation, some ways of actually doing this stuff to make it work for yourself. Because that's really what I want to do here is I want to try to be the videos that I wish that I had when I started my quote-unquote IT journey. So, but over time, you're going to develop, many different techniques for solving problems. So never run away from a problem. Get curious, get excited, be like, ooh, I'm going to learn something today, kind of thing. And, you want to have that attitude, because tech's gonna, if not, you're gonna get beat down and stuff like that. So yeah, now that you finished this video, check out this other video from my channel. Remember, mistakes make you better, so keep on making. Thank you so much for watching my video, and have the greatest of days.